Welcome to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid Ahmed. Welcome back to another episode of Hacks and Hobbies. Today is August 28th, 2018. I'm happy to report there has been some new hobby development. I know it's funny. So yesterday we talked about a lot of different things, what's going on, what was going to happen this week. Today, my son's first day to school, first day of school for his third grade. There was a huge crowd at the bus stop today. There's at least 10 kids on the block at this bus stop getting ready to get on the bus. It was awesome. Meet some of the neighbors that we haven't met before. Meet neighbors from before across the street. It was good. It was good to see them. All the kids are ready, their backpacks and water bottles and other things to take to the school. It's an exciting time, right? School is an exciting time. Kids going to school, learning new crafts, new behaviors, new languages, social studies, science, mathematics, English composition. So all of these things kids learn. They have a lot of physical activity as well. And this year, my son is going to a different school, and they have the STEAM program. The previous school did not have any STEAM program. They were more artsy, and they had lots of plays, and most of their visits were to plays. Nothing bad about that. You gotta be involved in the arts so you know what options you have, and you expand emotionally through those channels. Music is a huge part of that. STEAM focuses on science, technology, engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. I'm not sure what A stands for, but I think it's astronomy. Based on the last time we attended a STEAM conference, and we had rocket ships, we had telescopes. Instead of astronomy, it could be aeronautics, airspace, something aviation. I think that's a proper word, because we had Boeing and Lockheed Martin show up at this team event. They had a little table and a booth talking about their aeronautics and aviation. And yeah, I think it's great. My wife's cousin's husband, he is a commercial pilot, and he was visiting this summer for the many weddings we had. And he was mentioning, since he's a commercial pilot, he was saying that in the next 5 to 10 years there is a heavy need for pilots. 600,000 pilots are needed right now. And by 2035, I saw a sign somewhere, by 2035, they need a total of 1.5 million pilots and technicians for airplanes. Now, I wonder why that's happening. Well, one of the biggest reasons why that's happening is because retirement, right? People are retiring that have been flying airplanes for the past 30, 40 years. So they will be retiring, and they need to be replaced by new pilots. Now you might be thinking about, what about autopilot? autopilot can fly, yes, but you still need a human being in there. If you haven't seen the movie Sully, that talks hugely about the things the autopilot forgot to account for, and Captain Sully took over matters in his own hands and landed the aircraft in the Hudson River. And he was on trial for that, right? So check that movie out if you want to know something about how the importance of pilots flying the aircraft. Cool. So, yeah, from first day of school to pilots. It's amazing, right? Now, if you've been following the school system, you obviously have because you've gone to school and you've gone to college and gone to undergrad and whatnot. It's really amazing. I was watching some LinkedIn videos, and these guys were talking about how they left college and they are starting something new, starting work, doing their own startup, things like that. It's really interesting because sure you're dropping out of college, but you're dropping into something new. So I thought that was very interesting. So you might be wondering what's this new hobby that I've discovered or gotten into. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I see a lot of applications. It's not, well, it's, let me correct that. It is not a hobby. It's more of a hack. So I had ordered a few strips of LED lights. These lights are numbered 5362, I believe. 5362, or is it something? It's not 5050. So 5050 LED lights strip has square LEDs, and most of the times I believe it is multicolor. These ones are pure white or daylight white, I believe, and it's more of a rectangular shape to these, and they're super bright. So I've got these LED lights now. I wanted to use it as a light source. So one strip all around wouldn't really do the job. So what I did is I cut up these strips and I laid them side by side. So now I've got a rectangular panel that's got bright light shining. I've got to figure out how to add a dimmer switch to it, but since these LED light strips come with um, self-adhesive on the back, it's like perfect. And along with it, I also purchased some right angle connectors, wire connectors, or strip connectors. I'm like, all right, these are going to be cool, but there are only 10 connectors, and the shape that I wanted to build was quite elaborate, and I was like, these are not going to do it. Now, about a month ago, I had also ordered a kit, a soldering kit. So it comes with a little hot soldering iron. It comes with the joining material, as well as some tweezer, some solder removal thing. Basically, it's a nice little kit to get you started. It has like 4 or 5 different tips. I gotta figure out what the tips do and why, when you use the different tips. So I was like, okay, well these connectors aren't gonna do the job that I want to do. Should have taken pictures. So I laid the strips equal length side by side, and I glued them on this piece of wood board that I had. Now, initially I used an older wood piece that was fashioned into a door. I was like, all right, this might not work. And then I had these two other boards. They're about 17 inches by 24 inches. And I was using these at the townhouse as the bases for my computer systems. Since we had carpet, you don't want computer systems sitting on carpet as it blocks airflow coming in from the bottom up. So I decided, okay, I'm not using these boards for anything. Let's make them a light panel, and then I can fashion a dimmer on the backside of it and put all the electronics on the backside of it and see if I can power it with a battery pack. We'll figure all those things out as we go forward. So now I've got a neat looking board, and I was like, all right, I need to attach these strips to each other because now they're cut and they need to attach them, connect the electric, you know, complete the circuit essentially. So I was like, bust out the soldering iron, and I had these extra wire. So I am using tape. Tape is so helpful. I'm using tape. I first cut up the strips of the wire and I tape it down on the block of wood and have the contacts or the ends of them laying over where they need to be soldered. And then I use the iron to solder on thing. And as I do each connection, I make sure the light is coming through. After I did the last strip, I believe there was a three set of LED lights that are dimmer than the rest, and I'm like, that is not gonna do it because I want this entire panel to be bright, no little dark spots. So that was my new project that I picked on, and I have some extra three-piece LEDs that I can replace the patch with. So I think it's gonna become a nice light panel for video, for photography. It could be excellent light source for product photography because it's a completely lit panel. Talking about light panels and proper light sources for when you're shooting video, today I'm going to practice my speech, my talk on smartphone videography at so I have a little talk slash panel discussion happening at the LinkedIn Nova Reston this Thursday. And to practice for it, I will be presenting the same topic at my Toastmasters Club meeting. And I put my name down, so let's see what happens. I so wanted to take some props. I wanted to take a light panel. I wanted to take a tripod. So as I'm talking, giving my speech, I can show them what I mean by showing them the different tools of the trade. Oh my God, totally forgot it. It's not the end of the world. Um, bah, I'll just have to modify because I am going to use all of those same. I'm going to take all of the same equipment over to uh, the Thursday meetup. I'm going to have it set up with an iPad on one tripod, a phone uh, on another tripod, and I'll have my light panels lighting up the stage slash panel area so we could do a demonstration of what we're talking about, along with taking some audio cables. I'm so disappointed in myself, but it's not the end of the world. I've got a lot of things happening at the office as well. So that's what's happening at lunchtime. Hmm. I'll have to get lunch early because I did not get a chance to eat any breakfast today, and I'm already feeling it. So I started listening to this new podcast. It's called Thoughts by Me. It can be thoughts by anybody, but it's thought by this gentleman, DeVille. He is following my hacks and hobbies as well, but he's got a daily morning motivation. Very inspiring, very nice. And one thing that he was talking about today was really good. He's talking about finding the negative Nancy's in your life. People who are on purpose being negative, sucking the energy, life, and it's like, who else has said the same thing? Gary V. Gary V says the same thing. He says, you need to remove all the negative people from your life because they are hindering your progress. They're hindering your success. They're basically knocking you down. And if you want to be able to you want to be successful, you want successful people to be around you. You want to feed off of their energy, and then they feed off of your energy, and then this is a very positive rebuilding of attitudes. And I totally agree. This guy cannot be more correct. Just wanted to get that out there. I believe in strong positive emotions, not more like a positivity thing, but more of in a sense of an enthusiastic, beautiful life feeling. I also need to go back and bring in some of the lessons that I've learned at the Tony Robbins Gary Vaynerchuk convention last Tuesday. Oh my God, I can't remember. It was Wednesday. Yes, the meeting was on Wednesday. Last Tuesday we had Eid al-Adha, and then so Wednesday morning is when I went. So still less than a week since I got to see them on stage. Yes, I know I didn't get to meet them in person and say hey and tell them my name is Junaid, rhymes like lemonade, and they will never forget that. Like, did you ever meet that guy named Lemonade? He tells everybody his name is Lemonade. No, no, no. It rhymes like lemonade. So what is his name? I don't know. I think lemonade sounds cool. What's funny is one of my colleagues, when I told him, he used to call me Syed. He started like 10 months ago or something. He would call me Syed, and everybody else was calling me Junaid. And I was like, what do you call him? So I was like, yeah, my name is Junaid. It rhymes like lemonade. So he started calling me Lemonade for the longest time. I actually want him to come on the podcast and have a talk. He is awesomely talented individual. I don't know if I've mentioned him before on the podcast, but he's written a play. He's written a musical. He's a stand-up comedian for the past 5 years, and he recently moved to New York, his dream city. So he's got a lot of awesome things going on for him. I'm very excited for him. He did say he will be attending more and more comedy clubs to hone in his stand-up materials. So very excited for him. So yeah, well, I wanted to bring him on online on the podcast, have a little interview session, and dig into his brain, what he thinks about, and what goes on in his mind. There are a lot of people actually I want to bring on to the podcast. Some people are very dear to me, other people are also dear to me. Actually, everyone that I want to talk to is dear to me, because why would I talk to somebody that I don't like? That would be an interesting experience, though. Talk to somebody I don't like, but it's very hard to get to that because I have very um, extensive tolerance for everybody. The first person I do want to bring on is my wife. She's an amazing, amazing person, very dedicated. The mother of my three children. I am so thankful to her. I'm so appreciative of her and grateful of all the amazing things that she does for us. She is extremely passionate about cooking, cooking delicious meals. Um, she did do baking a lot, and she loves to throw parties. I wanted to talk about some of the amazing services that I use, and number one right now on my list for 2018 is Anchor. Anchor has changed the way people do podcasts. They've made it so easy to record. Initially, they weren't saying, but initially the recorded audio was a lower quality, but with a few updates, the quality of audio is as crisp as you can get it to the phone, to the iPad. I use a dedicated USB microphone. Well, it's a microphone headset. So the microphone is close to my mouth. But anyways, so talking about Anchor, they made it so easy to do podcasts that I'm able to do these podcasts every day. Although it's only been 7 days with continuous podcasts, where I missed on Sunday, I believe, or Saturday. Can't remember. Anyways, they have a really easy way to import your podcast if you've been hosting your podcast on other places. Let's say you're paying $5, $10, $15, $20 a month to host your podcast. You need to bring it on over to Anchor. They have an excellent import capability. Since your podcast is already live and it's probably on Apple and Google, you can just punch in the name of your podcast, click import once you find the right one, and bring it on over to Anchor. It'll download all of those files behind the scenes and put them in your library and create those episodes that you previously have. And then you can start recording new episodes. It's really cool. I just did that for my other podcast where I co-host with Danish and Omar, called Still Brewing It. So I brought on those, I imported that podcast over to Anchor. Amazing service, amazing service. Web host provider, I use DreamHost. They have an amazing track record. They have servers and data centers across the states. I believe that the data center that I'm using is close to me here in Virginia. So yeah, DreamHost, and then on most and all of the sites that I develop and put up are running on WordPress.org, are using WordPress as the blogging platform, as a content management platform, and it has grown. Now I know Tim Ferriss is 100% behind WordPress.com, but if you have your own hosting already, you can use WordPress.org blog platform. Most services, most hosting platforms has a one-click function that you can install the blog platform in a quick click. But WordPress.com makes all of that go away. They have dedicated hosting and optimizations for your site. And if you're interested, check out Tim Ferriss's podcast, The Tim Ferriss Show. One of the cool things that happen, one of the cool things, well, every week Tim Ferriss is talking to an awesome personality, an awesome entrepreneur. Uh, the one that I absolutely enjoyed listening to was the one with Gordon Joseph Levitt. And just recently, actually last Friday, Tim Ferriss, interviewed Drew Houston. Drew Houston, I believe is the correct pronunciation. Drew Houston is the CEO of your favorite file sharing service, file collaboration service called Dropbox. Dropbox, I was in love with Dropbox when it first came out. So powerful, I can have all my files on all my devices at a click, and it was just amazing. And it still is. They've got lots of integrations with Microsoft Office, and love it, love it. So, anyways, just wanted to mention those few sites and services that I use, that I back, and that I am passionate and excited about. Catch you on the next episode. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Anchor has enabled listener support, and every dime that comes my way helps me produce a better podcast, carve some more time out into doing some research and bringing some good content to you. Sounds like an awesome thing to do, but you don't need to do any of that to get great content from me. I am just speaking my mind and bringing information and knowledge from experience to you, and it is my pleasure. Again, thanks for listening. Please feel free to subscribe to the podcast on however many platforms you can find the podcast on. I truly appreciate you guys. You're bringing a lot of joy to me. Thanks for listening. Till next time.